Hi book babes, it's been a while. Follow me on TikTok, you might know that I'm a little bit obsessed with reading. I make it my entire personality. And if you just stumbled across my page, this is me telling you I make reading my entire personality. And the books that I mostly like to read are like angsty, sad books. And these are some books that have made me cry. Let's talk about it. I don't know what it is about angsty romance, but there's just something about a book that can grab my attention so much and manipulate my emotions so much that I'm sitting here reading words on a page and just sobbing, crying. My husband's looking over at me like, babe, are you okay? I'm like, no, actually not really. My friends are going through it. He's like, babe, they're not real. You don't tell me that. They are real. It was real to me. So let's start off. Binding 13, I'm going to go ahead and put the entire Boys of Tommen series in there, even though there's some books that still haven't come out yet. When I first read this book, I remember the second one hadn't come out yet. So if you've read this and you know what that cliffhanger was, I was dying for the next book. This book made me feel everything. There's friendships, there's family, there's this sweet, sweet friends to lovers love in there that I feel like in this book, I felt like Shannon Lynch. I felt like I was her in her body, feeling all the things she was feeling, going through all that awkward teenage stuff, and that is just what I love so much about this series. Like, I feel like Chloe just puts you in the character spot and you feel everything that they were feeling. I felt everything that Johnny was feeling. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't describe enough how much I love this series. If you have not read this yet and you want to give it a chance, please do it. I'm going to be doing a reread come March, so if you want to stick around to that, we can do it together. I'm going to be documenting the whole thing on here. I've read this a million times, but we're going to read it a million and one because it's that good. If you haven't read this book yet and you're wanting to give it a try, this story follows Shannon Lynch. Shannon lives in Ireland. This is 2004 or 5, I can't remember, but I remember like they don't have smartphones yet, obviously. And she is a girl who comes from a very troubled household. She has an older brother, she has younger siblings, she's the only girl in her family. Her dad is an alcoholic, her dad is not a nice guy, and she's also getting bullied at her school, so her mom ends up moving her to this other school where actually her one friends that she's had, you know, since she was a child go there, so she thinks it's going to be a fresh start. Some stuff starts happening there. She meets this rugby player and he is older than her and he is this big hot shot. He has this big bright future, but they just cannot stop gravitating towards each other. It's like the invisible string theory. They keep coming back to each other, and it's just something that I love about this that I feel like not a lot of people talk about. There are so many instances where Johnny and Shannon, those are our main two characters, this is not a spoiler, but there are so many instances when both of these characters are younger, like before they meet, where their lives could have crossed paths and probably should have crossed paths, but I think the universe was like, we're not ready for you yet. And when they finally do cross paths, they just can't stay away from each other. I'm literally getting chills talking about this. I'm not even kidding. This is one of my favorite books. You have to do it. You have to do it. And if you sob, it's okay. I'm here for you. Come to my comment section. Yell at me. But we need to talk about it. Now, this book, I have beef with this book, okay? I love this author. She is so sweet. Love her so much. This book, not sweet. Not sweet, Diana. This actually made me sob, okay? I have posted TikToks in my room crying. This is one of the ones my husband was like, are you good? And I had to look at him and be like, no, I'm struggling here. So this starts out with our main character. Her best friend is writing a book and they're talking about breakup smecks. And she's like, oh, you know what? I have experienced that. I'm going to text my ex and say, you know, like ask him about it. Ask him if we got the closure that we needed when we did that. And she texts her ex and she's like, hey, remember that time you broke up with me? Haha. And he's like, I didn't break up with you. You broke up with me. Dun dun dun. And then you get all these flashback scenes, which the flashback scenes are mwah. If you either love flashback scenes or you hate flashback scenes. I happen to be the type of person who loves flashback scenes. There's a lot of flashback scenes in here. This book does have a unconventional happy ending, so it's not your typical happy ending. You just need to know that going into it. I think it makes it even more emotional, and there's a lot of things that happen in here. There is a side relationship that is not, and that actually might be a spoiler. Hold on. There is a relationship in here that ends so bad that it almost hurts more than the like main hurt. You get what I'm saying? There's always like a main thing that's going on that is like the pain point. The other pain point, I feel like the like twist in this book hurts more than that. And I can't say any more without spoiling it, but man, the friendships, the young love in here, the understanding, the communication, it starts out as a miscommunication trope, but then I feel like our main character really gets the closure that she needs and gets what she needs out of this, and it is just, oh, so good. You've probably seen this one everywhere. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Now, Megan, I love you so much, but you really put me through it. And I know the next book that comes out, because there is a book after this one, she's gonna put us through it again, guys. It's okay. Well, don't worry. We'll read this one before the next one comes out. I'm sorry, I did have an energy drink beforehand to really like hype me up, and now I'm mumbling and jumbling, but it's fine. If you have not read this though, and you want a little synopsis, I'll give it to you, don't worry. Our main character, Ariana, or Ari, she is going into college, and she has a really good group of friends. It's her brother and her brother's best friend and her best friend, and they all are basically gifted, her and her brother are gifted this beach house, and they've gone every year with their family, but this year they're coming with just the friend group, and they're getting into a little shenanigans in the summer, and she has always had a crush on one of her brother's best friends, and she is like in love with him. They don't end up working out. This is not a spoiler. This happens pretty early in the book, and she gets her heart broken by him, but then they all still have to go to the same school. She still has to interact with him. She's finding herself, and she meets this new boy named Noah. And Noah Riley, I love you with my entire heart, body, and soul. This man is book boyfriend, the epitome of book boyfriend. This man can do no wrong in my eyes. This man did no wrong in my eyes. He is everything you want in a man. He's everything you want your daughters or sister or brother or whoever, and a boyfriend, a husband. This is who you want, because he is just so amazing. He's so amazing. He's everything. But our girl Ari, she's confused, right? Because she was in love with her brother's best friend, and they've known each other forever. And then she's got this new incredible guy. It's a love triangle, but we love a love triangle. And there's a twist that happens too. So yeah, there's a specific line in here that made me cry a lot. I used to think that I was hardened and that I didn't cry from books, but these books that I'm showing you now, they proved me wrong. They just proved to me that I'm not dead inside, okay? Okay, if you like that book and you're looking for another book that has the same vibe, look no further. Look no further than The One I Want by Siobhan Davis. This book is so good. This book follows this girl and her boyfriend and their journey to each other and their journey together, and then her boyfriend gets in a horrible car accident and she feels like it's her fault. And I'm not going to tell you if it's her fault or not, but you'll just have to read the book to find out. But while he's in a coma, she meets this guy who's also there because somebody that he cares for is in the hospital, and they connect that way, and they build this friendship, and it turns into a little more. And it's like, should I be having feelings for this guy while my boyfriend is laying in the hospital bed in a coma? She feels all this guilt. Guys, when I tell you this is one of the most angsty books I've ever read, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I had all the emotions. I was mad. I was happy. I laughed. I was mad again. I loved all the main characters, because there are a few actually in this book. I loved them. And then I was like, wait a minute, she shouldn't be doing that. And then I was like, wait, but maybe she should. And then I was like, oh, he's a good guy. Anyway, if you need to read it, just dive in, just do it. It's so good. Speaking of comas, if you don't know where I'm going, don't worry. The book that I'm talking about right now is Forget Me Not by QB Tyler, and I'm going to show you. I don't actually have the hard copy here. I don't know why, but I'm going to rectify that when I get off of this video, because I do need a hard copy of that. You know, I like to collect books like trophies. Anytime that I feel like I read a book, I normally read all my books on Kindle Unlimited or Kindle, and then once I have read them and I've loved them, I need them as trophies, so that everybody, this is what you see right when you walk into my house, because aside from my husband and my kids, these are the things that I'm most proud about, so everybody needs to see them. this is what she looks like. I mean, how, look at that cover. Okay, in this book, our main character is Olivia, and she has this husband. They love each other. They are like, people are so jealous of their relationship together, right? They're like that married couple where you're like, oh my God, you guys are so disgustingly in love still. And then something happens. He has an affair, okay? And I'm not gonna explain why, but there is a reason, not that there's any excusable reason, but he does have one. So they separate. Homeboy gets into an accident, right? Loses all his memories. He remembers that he thinks that he's married to her still. He doesn't remember them getting a divorce. He doesn't remember anything that happened. He doesn't remember his illicit affair. Wink, wink, Taylor Swift. He doesn't remember anything. And she's in there, she's like trying to deal with it all. And then his little girlfriend, because he has a little girlfriend, is in the mix. And our girl Olivia, she's not too happy about that. I cried so much reading this because these two are two people who love each other so much, but life and these circumstances have just driven them apart. And it's so sad because I feel like this happens a lot to people. Not affairs, I mean, I know those happen, but I just mean like life circumstances drag people apart. And it's like, you know, two people are supposed to be together, but they're not together because of just a life. And you can just tell that they love each other so much, but there's other people involved too. So you should read it if you haven't. I cried, I screamed, I was throwing up. I wasn't actually throwing up. That's obviously I'm being dry, but QB Tyler can do no wrong in my eyes, okay? She's wonderful. All right, well, that's some of the books that have made me cry. There are plenty more, but I just wanted to share a few of my favorite ones. Do I reread these? Yes. Do I cry? Yes. Is it therapeutic? Yes. Do I need therapy? This is my therapy, so it's fine. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.